I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Cause here comes the pain. No one to call up for help. No one to blame but yourself. You should have known better, however you did it. So we had to come ring your bell. Like I need a award, wait until I score.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They started on the ground with Eckler. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
The Saints at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47.
Option play, and they'll give to Eckler.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
From the 44, Allen over the middle. He gets it to Patterson.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Running on first down, Eckler. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Eckler will score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They start the drive with Peterson.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to about the 27.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, Peterson.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. To throw is Wilson.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
23 yards on the play.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They go play action with Wilson. That's complete to John Ross. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
A give, Eckler running to the right. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Throw for Eckler on the crossing route, complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 7. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. The 20. 5, touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Allen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Marshawn Lattimore finding his way behind the line and to the football.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen.
This is swung out to Eckler.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, Allen.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
I know we don't have a special scoreboard to show it, but the offense, They've surrendered more sacks than they have points thus far. This defense, they're winning in all phases of the game right now.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They're losing here in the 3rd quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was the place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it, because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Saints are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Allen now on 1st down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 2nd and 10, Allen.
He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something? Because we're into the 3rd quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Wilson now off the bootleg. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Saints are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. I guess we're at the point of the game where they do need to open up the playbook a little bit, start to take some chances down the field, but that one did not go as planned.
Yeah, these guys need something good to go their way, and they took an opportunity to take that shot there, but obviously that's not going to help. A tough play for them as they're trying to make their way back.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Score that tackle for loss to the Wyoming alumnus, Logan Wilson.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And that's into the hands of Eckler. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. That's caught, and it's Eckler again.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action now. Wilson flushed out right.
It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Out to his left.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now a give running left is Eckler. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Allen. Got Got a man. It's Patterson, complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll get this to Eckler. Touchdown, Saints. Austin Eckler. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Saints are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing you up.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Cameron Curl.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Austin Eckler
with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Saints have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Cameron Curl.
And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Eckler, they run left side. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And he's got it. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the 1st down.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll come out in the pistol. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, this is the ideal situation in the 4th quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So Allen's going to look to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen, he'll fire this one deep for Eckler. And he's got it inside the 10. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Allen to throw once more. And this will be caught. We'll forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
So it goes from a 3-score to a 4-score lead here in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. And whether they got that bonus touchdown or not, it's been a pretty impressive performance.
And they did it with not much time left. But they took what little time was on the clock and used it well, didn't they? Put a real exclamation point on their win with that score.
Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
It's so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game And they got it done in this one.
So for New Orleans, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. The West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You no nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, they make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with...
Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise a bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
Yeah. So that style not for you, but it's for me.
Greenfield's finest. Boss.
Yeah.
DJ Drama.
Never let a wishbone grow where backbone should. Belly been taking the dash on wood. 10 payments, the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. Shot through the lot of the starstruck. Hop in the ride and we took in the truck, couple in the truck and they all. They might say what's up when they see me around the city, but really no reason to talk much. Dinner at Nice Guy, but no nice guys here. I'm toe tagging, no Bilbo Baggins, y'all coming up short. Take a recess. This a heat check. Yeah. Shorty let me quick as a clear with a pre-check. It's lifestyle not for you, but it's for me. Seen it myself for years. The vision is mine alone. Just me, myself, no peers. Yeah. I don't know who hyping them boys. I'm done giving life for the noise. I give you my life in the source. I don't even write anymore. Yeah. Get it and drove like it's whipping a stove. That break hard like habits. No days off, no Sabbath. No snakes in my yard, no rabbits. Never let a wishbone grow where backbone should. Belly been taking the dash on wood. 10 payment, the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. Send the same money to Sudan. I could probably take the hood for a year or two. Stuck between stunting and a miracle. For real. Let's explore the moment. Ain't outside there agoraphobic. If you see me live, you would know it. Jumping on my do aerobics, boss like P90X. Boss like we write the checks now. Floss like we like the flex. Bust down, bust down, bust down. AMG, no bust now. Amiri jeans, SB dunks with a Fiends tee, no button down. Respectfully, blasphemy, you don't round if you wanna.